Hey guys, so here you go, a new chapter. Love me less aha tears of joy okay sign 2 hearts okay now off to the chapter. Oh, but first, tell me what you think about this story so far. Is it good or not worth it? Thank you for 8K reads, Chris loves you throwing kisses. Tilda, I would fuck Luffy even if his wounds were all over his dick, my best friend said, when asked what to write at the beginning of this chapter. Tilda chapter 19 Nami pa. After loads of crying, Luffy fell asleep with his head on my lap. I stroked his hair softly, missing the comfort that it provided to me. Things have been so messy. All this stuff that happened with Luffy was tearing my heart apart slowly. I wanted to see him happy again, flashing his goofy smile at everyone and taking my breath away by hugging me with so much force. I hope he recovers soon. 3 hours later tilde. So many time passed that I was currently sleeping in the most uncomfortable position on top of Luffy's head. Nami tilde moved. His whispers were becoming more evident as I was waking up slowly to his sleepy voice. I rubbed my eyes. Sorry Luffy. I managed to mumble out. Shishishi. Oh my god. Did he just laughed? My heart felt completely warmed up and Luffy looked at me as if something was wrong. I was always so sleepy and then, like nothing, I jumped up and looked at him like he was the strangest creature in the world. His eyes mirrored my sparkling pools of brown. My smile was as happier as the own the Cheshire cat usually wears. You're laughing. I yelled like a crazy and threw my arms in the air with excitement. Shishishi. I am. What's the problem? He smiled at me again. I threw my arms around his neck and hugged him forcefully until he was panting for air and managing to remind me about the wounds he had on his torso. I'm feeling so much better now, Nami. He smiled like a little baby and laughed again. Oh Luffy, don't laugh, you're killing me. Aha, I'll look at you. He became a cute shade of red and giggled again. I can't believe this little cutie is my boyfriend. Oh, yeah, I totally forgot that. With all of this confusion I broke up with him. Fuck, I'm worried about the topic but I don't want to bring it up because Luffy is such in a good mood and I don't want to make him sad after seeing him so down lately. We can just discuss this particular thing after he leaves the infirmary. What are you thinking about, Nami? He questioned, looking at me with a puzzled look. Nothing at all. Just about how things will get better after all of this horrible things we've been through. Okay, we heard a knock on the door and in came Chopper. We both smiled at him and gestured a quick hello as he greeted us the same way. Hey guys, I'm back. How are you both? He patted Luffy's back. I'm fine, thank you for helping me, Chopper. Hee. He laughed again and grinned like somebody had just finished giving him a sack full of goodies or something. I'm fine also Chopper, thanks for asking. I winked and the little reindeer smiled at us again. I have good news and bad news. Say the good news, Luffy exclaimed, sitting up on his bed. Well, the good news is that if you and Nami both accept this method of healing you can go back to sleeping on your room, yes. My childish little boy fist pumped the air and looked at me excitedly. Then he remembered there was also the bad news, and looked at me again with just one thing missing, the grin he was wearing 2 minutes ago. I made the move. Can you inform us of the bad news, Chopper? Yes, of course. He gave us a sad smile and walked over to an old piece of furniture on the left corner of the infirmary, removing a little book out of a drawer. So, I was grabbing some herbs and other stuff the other day, and after a little research, I found out that if Luffy takes this piles, he motioned over to his desk where sat a little white box, he will become better in only 3 days, making the wounds completely disappear. But, as all good things, this method of processing the treatment has also its negative part. As it's made with a powerful drug to keep his oxygen high up, because as you know, herbs use a lot of oxygen and he needs to keep his precious air all for himself, he has a strict timetable that he must follow as if his life depends on this. And to say the truth, his living actually depends a little bit on this. But still, don't worry about having to come up with an accessible timetable and those stuff, because I already did it all for you guys. So, Luffy, Nami, are you up to this challenge or will we just perform a highly painful surgery on Luffy and let him stay in bed for 2.5 weeks? I gritted my teeth at Chopper's last sentence and Luffy stared at me utterly confused. I think I can be responsible for him and help him. And after all, Luffy is not a baby, he is barely the one that's best at taking care of himself on this crew. I don't want to be in pain, Luffy mumbled, tilting his head a little bit to his right side. So, that's it, we have a decision, Chopper, I announced. We will do it. Both Luffy and I looked at each other and then, at the same time, we both looked at Chopper. Okay Luffy, it's better you start moving your stuff back to your room. Yay, Luffy jumped out of bed. Och, he clutched his stomach when he remembered the pain sitting on there. I just ignored Luffy as he was happy dancing, well trying to, and grabbed a piece of paper neatly folded out of Chopper's hand and a little box with the words, "Ch Herb Delilah Medicine," on it. By the time I was distracted talking to Chopper, Luffy was already tugging on my sleeve asking me to help him carry his clothes back to the women's quarters. Come on, I told him as I grabbed a pill of clothes and smiled to myself while hearing him singing muffled incoherent words. So, I know, this chapter was kinda boring but you guys need to keep calm cause the good parts are coming up. Smirk who wants a little rage between Hancock and Nami, my little Niku lovers. Haha, I don't guarantee nothing tahahe. So yeah, hope you like this one and message me ideas for this story and don't forget to tell me if you are liking it so far. Bye bad bitches, stay bad. Instagram, @0nepis Portugal. Personal IG, @Christian Oliveira.